You're watching The Ryan Silvefield Show, presented by AutoZone.
Well, the Mean Green ain't so scary after all, as the Tigers take down North Texas. We'll recap that game, have a great sit-down with Jonah Gamble, and look ahead to another home showdown against Charlotte. It's The Ryan Silvefield Show. Let's go.
The Ryan Silvefield Show is presented by AutoZone. When you've got battery trouble, head to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Conway Services, official heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric partner of Tiger Athletics. Chick-fil-A, we didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. RJ Young, technology solutions that power your business. And by Tennessee Lottery, turning dollars into dreams.
That's 3 wins in a row after the Tigers take care of business against a very good North Texas team. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Woloshin.
And I'm Doc Holliday. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Under the lights at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, and it was a shootout early. First drive of the game, Tigers go right down the field. Seth Hennigan with the quarterback keeper. He trots in for 6. Tigers go up early. But it wouldn't last long. First play for the Mean Green, and it's DT Sheffield. Gets the ball in the sweep, lays a nasty stiff arm, and he's gone. 75 yards to the house on the first offensive play. We're all tied up. Next Tigers drive, they go right down the field again. Mario Anderson just going to walk in from 5 yards out. Blows a kiss to those fans in the front row. Tigers up 14-7. Still in the first quarter, first play of this drive again for UNT, and it's DT Sheffield through the air. He makes the grab, turns on the burners, 2 plays, 2 touchdowns. We are all tied up at 14. To the second, UNT on the move. Chandler Morris calls his own number, and that ball is out. Like a pack of Tigers, they pounce on it. Memphis takes over with great field position. On the very next play, Mario Anderson says, I got a date with the end zone. He takes off, goes 42 yards to the crib. Tigers would take a 28-24 lead into the locker room. Second half, the shootout continues. On 3rd and goal, DT Sheffield hauls in his 3rd touchdown of the game. Mean Green go back out in front. Next Tigers drive, Seth Hennigan fakes the handoff, keeps it cool under pressure, and is looking deep. He finds Demir Blankenship, who gets behind the defense. He takes it in for 6. Tigers go up 35-31 headed into the 4th. It would not last long. Chandler Morris breaks contain up the middle and takes off. No one is home. He's going to go 49 yards, and North Texas takes the lead right back. Next Tigers drive, guess who? Mario Anderson right up the gut for his 3rd touchdown of the game, and this back and forth continues. Tigers force a punt, get the ball back, and there goes Anderson again. Breaking tackles, he is off to the races, tripped up after a 50-yard run, setting the Tigers up once again. But he said, Coach, I got more in the tank. Anderson runs it right in for his career-high 4th touchdown of the game. Tigers go up 49-38. The Mean Green, not done yet. Chandler Morris scrambles around, looking, sidearm pass to Blair Conwright for the touchdown. The failed 2-point conversion has Memphis up 49-44. Tigers would get a field goal off the recovered onside kick. Last gasp for North Texas. 2 seconds left. Morris throws it to the end zone, and it is intercepted by Chandler Martin. Tigers win an old-school shootout 52-44 and had a lot to say in the post-game chatter.
Feel great. Just being able to finish the game off. Dropped one early in the game. Hurt me real bad. Had to catch that one. Just felt great to finally just get the win and get to the next one.
I mean, I feel as though as an offense as a whole, we put up 52 points. I mean, anytime you do that and then you have a defense who's holding it down as well, I feel like that's complimentary football. So just being able to go out with the guys and execute at a high level, like how we did tonight, the O-line doing their job, the receivers making plays, and Seth doing what he do on a weekly basis, it's just all gel and came together.
It's a good feeling to be bowl eligible again and just getting another conference win because they're hard to come by. Trust me, I know. So happy to be in the situation we're in.
Coach, less than a week ago, you said to the press, let's be honest, guys, our defense was one of the worst in the country last year. all of a sudden, this defense has won you a couple of games this year. How did you change this culture so quickly? And I guess it starts with Jordan Hankins.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, let's give credit to the defensive coaching staff. Coach Hankins and his staff have done a phenomenal job of getting the young men to buy in, right? One, we implemented a total scheme change, which I thought was necessary moving forward. And that was part of the reason for choosing Jordan as our defensive coordinator. And then secondly, the young men on defense have been phenomenal. They bought in. We've been using this mantra on defense called the dark side, and they bought fully into it. They're flying around the football, right? They're playing physical. They're tackling better every week. They bought into what we're doing schematically. It's been a lot of fun.
Now, you can talk about scheme changes, but I know players have to love the coach and trust the coach, and them defensive players seem to love and trust Coach Hankins.
Yeah, I think that's got to be part of it. You know, offensively, a lot of it is, but defensively is so much about passion and energy and the effort, right? You want that in all three phases, but on defense, you got to see it. And when they're out there, when whatever Coach Hankins calls, it may not be the perfect call, but by strain and effort, right, and the ability to want to go make that play, they're doing some great things on defense.
Well, you got to have athletes too. And let's start with your green dot. People don't know what that is. On your helmet is a green dot. You've got the headset that you can hear Jordan Hankins in your ear. That is on Chandler Martin, who for 2 years now has been about as consistent a football player as I have seen.
Yeah, absolutely. He's our only underclassman that was named a captain this year. You know, the one thing I love about Chandler, he truly is a coach on the field. He watches so much film. You know, he loves analyzing what offense they're doing. Then he goes out there, he sees things, he's able to get everybody else lined up, and then you go play really fast. He plays a physical brand. He's more athletic than most people think. He's made a ton of plays that have allowed us to have victories.
And I was going to ask about that because I watched Chandler Martin. Sometimes players, they're just always around the ball. He just seems to always be around the ball.
Yeah, he's got a great knack for it. And I think part of that is the amount of film he studies. Like, he has a great understanding. You know, we always go back and watch some of those Ray Lewis clips, and how'd they always know, Luke Kuechly, how'd those great linebackers always know what was going on? Even if their assignment may have here, his eyes there, okay, covered my assignment. Now I'm going to go over there. I know where that ball's coming. And that's what I appreciate about them. Not only is he a tremendous football player, but he's a football junkie. He loves it. He's got great knowledge for the game. His intellect is phenomenal, and he's a fantastic young man.
And then I think really maybe the deepest since you've been here, I'm talking 9 years now, in the defensive backfield, the corners with Ross and with Minor, and then Rubin as sort of another captain on the field. There's not a weakness there.
Yeah, that's one of those things we said we got to really address is the secondary. You know, Greg Rubin's going to be that four-year star for us, the hometown here that's done a tremendous job. We talk about Davion Ross, a guy that's been a part of our program that fans forgot actually missed most of last year with an injury. He's done a tremendous job. The addition of Kobe Minor and all those other guys in the secondary, right? We've had a great rotation of guys back there. A.J. Watts at safety, Jordan Greer at safety. Hopefully we get Cortland Marsh back from injury soon. You know, a lot of those guys are constantly going back there making plays. And, you know, generally when you're not sitting there saying, man, who is that guy because they're missing coverage, generally they're making plays on the ball, and that's exactly what you want.
I'm seeing a different level of physicality too. Are you all hitting more in practice, Coach? I don't know what the restrictions are, but it seems like they are so much more physical this year.
Yeah, I don't know if the players necessarily like it, but on Tuesdays, we actually do live segments with our defense. And then, you know, every team tackles, you know, the pads and the bags and all that stuff. But one of the unique things is over the last couple of years, we actually will bring those pads to the stadium pregame. You know, you watch a lot of people do the, you know, the tap off and the hand touch before the game. We actually are rolling those donuts out there, making sure those guys are wrapping up and tackling. And I think making a conscious effort, constantly talking about it, we know it's got to be a key to victory every single football game.
He's been a Memphis guy through and through his entire college career. We'll sit down with Jonah Gamble coming up next.
You're watching The Ryan Silvefield Show, presented by AutoZone.
Welcome back to The Ryan Silvefield Show. Football games are decided in the trenches, and Jonah Gamble has been part of that his entire collegiate career. However, his imprint on the program goes well beyond wins and losses. Gamble hails from Cartersville, Georgia, and comes from an athletic family. Football entered his life at a young age.
I mean, I started playing when I was 6. I played for the Spartans. Yeah, I played for the Spartans. I believe I was an O lineman, so meant to be, obviously, you know, always a big kid. But played O-line for a little bit, then just played, rec ball throughout there. I had some times like in middle school where like 7th grade I didn't want to play, so I just didn't play, and then I was like, what am I doing? So ended up playing again in 8th grade.
Did you get the sense right away when you picked it back up in high school that it was something that you could pursue and maybe play at the next level?
My freshman year, like all my friends after my freshman year like quit. Like most of them. So they were like, hey, we're quitting. Like, we're all quitting. So I'm like, all right, I'll quit too. Like, I was like, I don't like it anyways. Like, I was like, all right, I'll quit. So then I went into my head coach's office and he basically let everybody else quit. But then with me, he was like, you're not quitting. And I was like, why? And he was like, because you're going to start and you're going to go to college to play football. And that was the first time I was like, what? Like you think so? He was like, no, like definitely. He was like, give it one more year. He was like, you're going to start. He's like, you're going to play football in college.
Cartersville also had a lot of eyes on them at that time because of a teammate 2 years older than Gamble you might have heard of before.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence was my quarterback for my first 2 years of high school. So, I mean, it was definitely something to watch. And he was elite. I mean, especially in high school. I mean, he's just, dicing kids up, touchdown after touchdown.
Gamble eventually made a pretty good name for himself in high school, too, being named All-State his junior and senior seasons. Initially, he thought he'd be playing college ball for one of Memphis's rivals.
I just wanted to play as soon as possible. And so I went on 2 official visits or 3 official visits, App State, South Florida, and Memphis. Memphis was the last one. And I went to South Florida, and I thought I was committing there, like for sure, because I was like the only one on the visit. Like they were showing me love. I was like, all right, I'm committing to South Florida. I'm just gonna go to Memphis. Like I already have this visit planned.
That visit and the offensive line coach he developed a relationship with changed everything.
Then came up here for the visit. I was like, this is awesome. I was like, I have to. And then they were like, we're gonna have a good team. I had a really successful 2018 year, lost in the conference championship. So I was like, all right. So I committed going into my senior year. Committed here. Coach Silverfield was the O-line coach at the time. He was recruiting me hard. He was really good at recruiting.
So when Mike Norvell left Memphis at the end of 2019 and Silverfield became the new man in charge, it didn't dissuade Gamble at all. In fact, it actually might have reinforced his decision.
When he got the head coach job, I was like, that's when I was like, all right, for sure I'm coming here because that's a guy like, obviously recruited me that I like, that is trustworthy and who I believe was going to be a good coach and who has developed into a really good head coach.
Redshirt freshman, you become a starter and you never look back. You've played, I don't know how many games in a row, but a lot.
Yeah.
What's allowed you to be so consistent?
I'm never going to put myself out there if I think that I'm going to be detrimental to the team, where it's like I'm so hurt that I can't move around enough. I'm going to get Seth hit. I'm going to get, my O-lineman messed up. Like I'm going to get them rolled up on, stuff like that. But, if I can put 2 feet in the ground and move decently well, without collapsing, I'm going to be out on the field. And that's just a mindset thing, I believe, as well. And that's what I think I would want other people to do for me.
You've been here 5 years in total. This is a day and age where players can come and go and seek quote-unquote better opportunities as they please year in, year out. Why have you stuck it out here?
I've never quit anything in my life. And I don't believe some people who have transferred out here have quit it. I don't believe they've quit or whatever, but I believe some people have taken the easy way out. And after this year, definitely, people are, hit me up through old coaches and, stuff like that. And I'm kind of like, it was never really a thought in my mind to leave because I've always I knew when I committed here, I'm staying here for my whole career, especially after I started playing my redshirt freshman year.
That loyalty was rewarded this season when Gamble received the ultimate honor from his teammates, being voted a captain.
That was a big deal. Definitely, when I first got here, it would kind of be like seniors, okay, rotating every game that you're captains. But then through the last 3 years, it's been, all right, you're voting on captains. So I've always been when I'm a senior, I want to be a captain. And hopefully I've shown enough when I get to that point that my peers will vote me into to being a captain. And so I tried to step up this year, try to be the main leader of the O-line. I've played a lot of games. I've earned my respect here. I kind of wanted to keep that, and being a captain was a huge deal, especially when we voted for it that night. I was kind of I hope people are thinking about me. But when you announced captains, I was very excited.
I tell you, take a lot of pride in being a great representative of this program. It's your last ride this year. How badly do you want to end this thing on the right note, whatever that might look like?
I couldn't even tell you how bad. I mean, this is what I've worked for 5 years. This season, obviously, you know, I've had belief, and every year that I've played, I want to win. I have belief that we can win, that we can win the championship, you know, stuff like that. But I mean, I couldn't even put it into words really how badly that I want it. I feel like I do a decent job of showing it when I'm on the field, or when we're in the locker room at halftime, or when we're on the sideline in a close game. I feel like you can kind of tell my passion at that point. Nothing else matters other than winning and getting that championship for us this year.
Every once in a while, you get a guy into your program that is just unique. He's smart, he's funny, he's consistent. I can't help but love Jonah Gamble.
Yeah, I think he's one of those that everybody loves because he's got just a contagious personality and he's a fantastic football player. The one thing about Jonah is, you talk about some of those guys, he was initially recruited by me when I was the offensive line coach, you know, as a junior in high school out in Cartersville, Georgia. And then he's one of those ones we stayed on, came here, has played a lot of football for us, a lot of different positions. People forget, as a redshirt freshman, he started for us at left tackle. He took snaps at center this past spring. He's done it all on the field, but he's also done it all off the field.
Now, to be playing in them trenches, you got to be a dog. We know Jonah's a dog, but when the producer mentioned Jessica that we were going to do Jonah Gamble, you just immediately start smiling.
Yeah.
Why is that? Where did that come from?
You know, he's got, just like a lot of those old linemen, right? Some are either very quiet and just kind of lethargic and go through life. Jonah's got this larger-than-life personality, right? Not only is he a big young man, right, but his personality just exceeds himself, and he's constantly smiling. You know, when he goes, and it's fun. He's got some great impersonations of the coaches. Hopefully, he won't do any of them on this TV show, but he's just been such a tremendous asset.
Back home again next Saturday morning as the Tigers go digging for gold against the 49ers. We'll preview Charlotte next.
You're watching The Ryan Silvefield Show, presented by AutoZone. Let's take a look at the AutoZone road ahead.
We know the time, 11 o'clock. Here comes Charlotte. Last year, that was a tough game in the rain in Charlotte.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, one of those new teams that's to the conference that presents a lot of challenges. They did a phenomenal job this past offseason of adding a lot of talent from the transfer portal, right? They're starting to develop. They're a younger team. We know they have a head coach with a big personality as well, but they're coming here, right, to Memphis, 11 a.m. kickoff for our homecoming. We've got to be on it and ready to roll.
What concerns you about that so far?
Well, I think there's just so many different faces, right? A lot of times, a team that you played, you're able to go back and watch. We knew it was a challenge for us last year, and I think just like anything, another conference opponent, right? An early kick, our guys gonna be ready for it. They're coming in, right? And they're gonna bring everything they have. A lot of these teams that come to our place, it's their Super Bowl, so we gotta be on top of our game in order to go out there and have success.
When you've got battery trouble, head to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
One thing about Biff Poggi's teams, they play hard. This one could be a good one. Back with a wrap in just a minute.
You're watching The Ryan Silvefield Show, presented by AutoZone.
Thanks so much for staying up late night. Next week, you'll meet the Harvard whiz, Matt Hudson. We'll see you then.
The Ryan Silvefield Show is presented by AutoZone. Got a check engine light? AutoZone will check it for free with the free Fix Finder service. Available at every store. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Conway Services, official heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric partner of Tiger Athletics. Chick-fil-A, we didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. RJ Young, technology solutions that power your business. And by Tennessee Lottery, turning dollars into dreams.
This copyrighted telecast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Memphis. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Memphis and Learfield.